All right, everybody, welcome back to the Deep Dive. We've got an interesting one lined up for you today.
Yeah, it should be pretty fascinating, actually. We're diving into NewChurch out there in Katy, Texas.
And let me tell you, just from the website, it seems like they're really trying to, well, shake things up a bit. Not your typical church experience, that's for sure.
That's one way to put it. They definitely seem to be embracing a more, shall we say, modern approach.
So if you're in Katy on a Sunday morning and looking for something a little different, head over to Faith West Academy at 10 a.m. That's where you'll find them.
Oh, and don't worry about dressing up. They keep it super casual. Jeans and a t-shirt are perfectly fine.
Yeah, no need to dust off that Sunday best. And hey, if you're not quite ready for the whole in-person thing, they've got online options too.
Options are always good. But you know, what really caught my eye was their tagline, God has hope for you here.
It's bold, right? They're not shying away from making a statement, and then they hit you with phrases like, make sense of this chaotic world. It's like they're speaking directly to the seeker, the one who's searching for answers.
It's very intentional. They're using language that's designed to resonate with people who might not connect with traditional church jargon.
Exactly. And they don't stop there. They even go as far as saying, church will never be a waste of time. Now, personally, I'm always a little wary of absolutes, but you got to admire their confidence.
It's certainly an attention grabber, and it plays into this whole idea of them offering something different, something, dare I say, revolutionary.
Yeah, and then there's this. Worship won't be boring, fake, or awkward. Music to my ears. Because honestly, who hasn't felt a little out of place at some point during a church service?
They're addressing those common anxieties head on, which is refreshing. They're acknowledging that church can be intimidating, and they're saying, hey, it doesn't have to be like that.
And they back it up with these things they call new church promises. These aren't your average church bulletin points, though. These are like commitments, pledges they're making about the experience you can expect.
And what's interesting about these promises is how they focus on the individual's needs and desires. It's not just about following rules or adhering to dogma. It's about personal growth, authenticity, finding your place in the world.
Yeah, and that idea of personal growth, of finding your place, that's got to resonate with you.
Absolutely. It speaks to this innate human desire for meaning, for purpose, and they're positioning themselves as guides on that journey.
So they're definitely breaking the mold in a lot of ways. But here's where it gets interesting. They're also very upfront about being a Lutheran Church Missouri Synod congregation, LCMS, for those in the know.
And that might throw some people off, right? Because the LCMS denomination has a certain reputation, certain connotations that might not scream rock concert vibes.
Exactly. It's like they're trying to bridge this gap between tradition and innovation.
Yeah.
And that's where things get really interesting.
Now, when we think about the LCMS, we're talking about a denomination that really emphasizes grace, faith, and sticking close to the Bible.
So how does a church that's all about rock music and, promising that church won't be a drag, how does that fit in with that whole image? It's kind of like they're trying to have their cake and eat it too, right?
Oh, right. It's a bit of a head scratcher at first glance, but then you get to their things to confess section, and it's like, okay, maybe they're onto something here.
Things to confess. Sounds a little intense, doesn't it?
It does, but it's actually not as scary as it sounds. They're talking about those classic Christian creeds, the Apostles' Creed, the Nicene Creed, the Athanasian Creed, the foundational stuff.
Oh, okay. So like the historical bedrock of their beliefs. Gotcha.
Exactly. It's like they're saying, look, we're not reinventing the wheel here. We're rooted in these ancient truths. But, and this is the crucial part, they're not afraid to interpret those truths through a modern lens.
And they actually encourage people to, dig into those creeds themselves. They even recommend a book that explains Lutheran beliefs in a fun, easy-to-understand way. It's refreshing, honestly.
It really is. They're not afraid of questions, of doubts. In fact, they seem to welcome them.
Speaking of questions, let's talk about their FAQ section. This is where their personality really shines through.
Oh, yeah. This is where we get to see their sense of humor. Like, someone asked, what are you going to do when you're not a new church anymore? Which, let's be real, is a valid question.
Right, because eventually the new wears off.
Exactly. And their response is brilliant. They said, we're called New Church because everyone is made new in Christ, not because we're the new kids on the block. I mean, come on, that's good stuff.
It's clever, it's witty, and it gets the point across. They're not just some trendy church trying to be cool. They've got substance.
They do. And they're not afraid to address the elephant in the room either, like the whole why so loud question.
Which, let's be honest, is probably what a lot of people are thinking.
Totally. And their answer is hilarious. They basically say, it's not loud, you're just too old. Just kidding.
Yeah.
But seriously, it's rock music.
I love that they just own it. No apologies.
Exactly. It's like they're saying, this is who we are, take it or leave it. And that confidence, that authenticity is really refreshing.
It is. And that seems to be a recurring theme with them. They get asked about their style, their music, their vision for the future. And they always come back to this idea of being true to themselves, of not conforming to expectations.
Which is interesting because they do have some pretty unconventional plans for the future. Like, remember that part about them wanting to open a restaurant?
Oh, yeah. NewChurch pub. Can you imagine?
It's ambitious, to say the least. But it also speaks to their desire to be more than just a Sunday morning experience. They want to be a part of the community, a place where people can connect, relax, and, maybe even grab a burger and a beer.
It's like they're breaking down those walls we build around religion, those preconceived notions of what a church should be and how it should function. And, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Breaking down those walls, challenging those expectations.
Absolutely. And that's where you, the listener, come in, because you're not just listening to us ramble on about NewChurch. You're trying to figure out if this is a place where you could see yourself connecting, belonging.
Exactly. It's about finding that right fit, that community that feels like home. So picture this. It's Sunday morning. You walk into NewChurch.
They're blasting rock music. People are hanging out, chatting, laughing. It's high energy, for sure.
Does that get you pumped? Does that feel like, this is where I need to be?
Or maybe you're thinking, maybe a little too high energy for me. And that's okay. We all have different preferences. Maybe you thrive in more structured, contemplative environment.
That's the beauty of it, right? There's no one-size-fits-all when it comes to faith. And that's where those NewChurch promises we talked about come in. Think back to those commitments they're making. Do those resonate with you?
Are you looking for a church that's not afraid to ask tough questions, to grapple with doubt? A church that values authenticity over tradition, that embraces the messiness of life?
Because those promises aren't just marketing slogans. They're a reflection of their core beliefs.
Yeah.
And those beliefs, those roots in grace and faith, that's what drives everything they do.
Exactly. So as we wrap up our deep dive here, the real question is, does NewChurch feel like a good fit for you?
We've given you the info, the insights, the inside scoop. Now it's up to you to decide.
What are you looking for in a church community? Do you connect with their style? Does their approach to faith resonate with you?
Because at the end of the day, finding a church home, it's a personal journey. It's about finding that place where you can grow, connect, deepen your relationship with God in a way that feels authentic to you.
We've just scratched the surface here. The real exploration begins when you take that next step.
So what are you waiting for? Check out their website, listen to a sermon online, or hey, why not visit them in person next Sunday? You never know. You just might find that God has hope for you there.